Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, November 1st. A couple of things I want to talk about today. The first one being about a conversation that I had with a friend of mine Friday night who is very, very, very knowledgeable about astrology. So she had watched something, and I did ask her what she watched, and she couldn't remember. So after I explained this, anybody who did happen to see this, knows who said this, please post that in the comments because I'd like to go watch that video. Anyhow, we were talking Friday night about the astrology of November 8th, which we all know is a week from today. And she said, this was how the woman explained it on the video, woman or man, whoever it was, said that it is like having a woman get, I guess, arrested. The police have her in the back of the police car. She is sitting on a train track, handcuffed, and she sees a train coming, and she is screaming at the top of her lungs, trying to get someone's attention, but nobody is paying attention, and the train is coming speeding at her. There will be different perspectives, as there will be the people in the train on November 8th seeing the train coming and absolutely nothing they can do about it. There will be the people that are observing, far away and seeing it happening and being able to do nothing about it. So after she explained that, I have my birth chart handy. I printed that off, I don't know, back when I started doing tarot readings in 2018. And so I have all the degrees of what I'm in on all the houses, blah, 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 blah. And she did like a little mini astrology reading for me about where my placements were for this thing going on November 8th. Luckily, it appears that I will be mostly in the observer position, maybe with some things flying my way. From one house that has a degree that's close to what's going on, but everything else appears that I will be in the observer position. I cannot wait until she gets her certification, and actually I can promote her online and say, go talk to my friend, have her do a reading for you. Because she was pulling this stuff out like she'd already taken this class. So it was just really amazing to listen to her and the passion that she had inside of her. And so anyway, that's the astrology of the 8th. Again, if anybody knows who said that or described the energy of the eclipse on the 8th, please let me know, because I really, really would like to go watch that whole video from whoever said that. And the next thing I want to talk about is I had a reading done on Sunday, and I'm not going to tell you what the question was. I'm going to tell you what came out in the reading and see if you can figure out what her question was, because it wasn't exactly about a past life. It was a question about something going on in her current life. But since our guides, my guides, the Akashic Record guides, and the way they do the information for me, they show me in movie form a past life, and then that resonates somehow with current life situation, and then they get to decide after that how that resonates. So in this reading, the first thing that they did was they showed me a boy. I don't know, he was probably 10 to 15-ish, and Mark Twain kind of came to mind. The Huckleberry Finn kind of looked like those boys with the suspenders and the old dirty white shirt and like the pants that were kind of short. And he was walking down this old lane in what appeared to be like the southern part of the United States, because it had kind of that moss growing from the trees like they do down in Savannah. I felt like it was South Carolina. I also could see a river that was over here. It was not the beach. It was definitely a river. And he's like walking down this like kind of river road lane. And his mom was sick. And they were going to this, I'm going to call him an Old Coot, because that's what the townspeople all kind of thought of him, was he was an Old Coot. But he was a man who was very, very knowledgeable about healing herbs, ways to heal the body, not the normal stuff. And when the boy got to the house and found him, the first thing that he said was, "I don't do doctor's calls, um, but I will give you what you need." So basically, he took the boy in. They went through a whole kind of dissertation. He asked all the questions: what's going on here? When did it happen? And he had like this whole piece of paper that he had filled out of what was wrong with this boy's mother. And then he sent him off with a bunch of different things, bags of this and that and the other and whatever, and gave him very, very, very strict instructions of how to administer this. You do this on Monday. You do this on Tuesday. You do not do anything past noon on Tuesday, or you wait until noon on Tuesday before you do this. And if she's not better by Wednesday, you come back and see me. And so the boy goes back. Apparently, the mother's sister had been trying to heal her for 3 weeks and had been actually making her sicker. So that's why she had sent the boy to go to this older man's property to get stuff, because she was not being heard by her sister, and her sister was trying to do things her own way and making it worse. So long story short, the boy goes, he does everything exactly as was supposed to be done, and the mother does get better. So after the mother gets better, she like bakes a cake and she goes down to see the old man. Her and the boy go down to see the old man again, and she is going to say thank you, because a lot of times he would give stuff out, but no one ever came back to, like, he never got to see what the end result was. Nobody ever came back to say thank you. They took from him, but they never said thank you for anything. And so she was taking him like a cake and going back to say thank you. You saved my life. I want to know what you do. Tell me what you do, because we need to know this information. How do you get your information? And a lot of the information that he got was very intuitive. So he had a hard time explaining to normal people how he did what he did, because he just automatically knew, this was this, but at the same time, he had also had a lot of that knowledge handed down. I feel like he was part Native American. Although he was like tall, super tall, like he must have been like 6'4" or 6'5", because when I was looking at him from the boy's perspective, he was like way up there. And so anyway, she started going back. I don't know, it was like specific on Wednesdays. I don't know if it was every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, whatever, but she started going back to see the old man like once a month or twice a month on Wednesdays. And he taught her everything she knew, or everything he knew. And so for 6 months, she studied and learned everything that he knew, and about the plants and the herbs and this and that and the other. And then after 6 months, the weather started getting kind of bad. And so she waited another 6 months. Then she started growing her own garden like he had, with all the medicinal herbs and everything in it. And so there was a definite connection between this man and this woman. And so she ended up like hanging a shingle out at after she had gotten the information from him, and always paid him in like fruits and vegetables or whatever. She had a garden, and she didn't just take from him. She always brought him something whenever he was teaching her whatever he was teaching her. And so they had a very unique situation, cohesive situation, I guess you could say. But anyway, after about a year of her healing herself, or him helping heal her, she put a sign out, started teaching classes in her home. Her sister was long gone by now. But she also found out that her sister had been telling everybody in town there that she was the one that healed her. And when she found that out, she was like mad as a hornet, because her sister was not the one that healed her. Her sister made her actually sicker instead of better. So that was kind of the wrap up of that whole vision that came through for her. And I'm curious if you can guess what the question was in today's life. What kind of question did she ask me on Sunday that's what the guides gave her as her answer? I'm just curious if you have any thoughts, intuitive thoughts. What do you think? So that's a little bit of an insight of how the past life readings work. Is someone comes to me, they ask me a question, I open up the records. I have a very specific thing that I say, and I open up the records. I go into this little room, and I have some guides in there that either give me a book or point me in the right direction or whatever. And then I start getting a download, and I just, with them on the phone, I just start explaining what I see, what I'm feeling. I don't know the end of the story any more than they do. We both find out the end of the story at the same time. We both go through this at the same time because, like I said, I have no clue what they are going to send me or lead me through, or because it doesn't have to make sense to me. It has to make sense to the person on the other end of the phone. And that whole thing that came out on Sunday did make sense to her. It was like the perfect thing for her question. And so anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. I am going to do this on a different video. I also had a healing session with someone. I did a tarot reading for her about a year and a half ago, roughly. I think it was in June. I decided to do tarot readings for a short period of time, and she was one that jumped in on that. And when I had my little meltdown last week, and I was talking about all of the stuff that had happened the week before, she reached out to me and said, I would like to do a session of what I do. She does EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and I believe she calls it matrix reprinting. So I want to tell you about that, but I want to do it in a whole different video. So I think that's it for today. I hope you all have a good week, and the countdown is on. So where do you think you will be when the train hits this energy from the November 8th astrology eclipse and everything? Are you going to be in the train, or are you going to be far enough away that you're not going to get hit by the splatter? Anyway, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.